Memory and Secrets of Universal Consciousness. The human mind has a remarkable capacity for recalling the past. Memories serve as a treasure trove of experiences, emotions, and lessons, allowing us to revisit moments long gone. It is through memory that we often find solace and comfort, reliving moments of joy or seeking answers in the labyrinth of our past. We cherish our reminiscences, savoring the sweet moments and learning from the bitter ones. The nostalgic embrace of the past often provides comfort during turbulent times. However, we must remain cautious of memory's allure. While it is essential to honor our past experiences and the impact they have had on our development, we should not allow memory to dominate our present. Memories, like phantoms, can cling to the mind, obscuring the vibrancy of the present moment. The wisdom gained from past experiences can guide our actions in the present, but we must resist the impulse to dwell in the shadows of yesterday. The relentless contemplation of what was can prevent the flourishing of what could be and darken what is now. Spiritual growth necessitates the willingness to relinquish the charms of memory and embrace the power of now. Each moment is a unique, offering us a chance to experience life's wonders in their purest form. To achieve this, we must cultivate an uncluttered mind, free from the entanglements of past memories as well as dreams or worries about the future. While memory preserves our stories and experiences, it can also hinder our evolution. As we tread the path of self-discovery, the past must not be a prison, but a stepping stone. The powerful grip of the past is loosened when we acknowledge that it has already fulfilled its primary purpose in our lives. The spiritual journey unfolds in the present, and the memory of past experiences, though valuable, is but a witness to the transformative process. When we release our attachment to memory's charm, we can embrace the vividness of the present moment, undistorted by the haze of reminiscence. Mirra Alfassa, a companion of the Sri Aurobindo, explains, "Beware of the charm of memories. What past experiences leave behind is the effect they have had on the growth of the consciousness. But when you try to relive a memory by putting yourself in similar circumstances, you soon realize that they are empty of their power and charm, for they have lost their usefulness for progress. At every moment one must know how to lose everything in order to gain everything, to shed the past as a dead body and be reborn into a greater plenitude." While memory itself is not inherently harmful, it can become problematic when it perpetuates negative thought patterns, attachments, and distractions that hinder spiritual progress. Memories of past traumas, failures, or regrets can fuel negative thought patterns such as fear, anxiety, guilt, or resentment. Dwelling on negative memories may prevent individuals from fully engaging with the present moment and experiencing inner peace and contentment. Excessive preoccupation with memories, whether positive or negative, can distract individuals from the reality of the present moment. Instead of being fully present and attentive to their immediate experience, individuals may be lost in thoughts of the past, missing opportunities for growth, connection, and self-awareness. Memories of past successes or achievements may foster a sense of control or superiority, leading individuals to overestimate their abilities and underestimate the role of external factors or higher powers in shaping their lives. This illusion of control can hinder humility, gratitude, and acceptance of life's inherent unpredictability. Memories contribute to the construction of the ego, or sense of self, by shaping one's self-image based on past experiences and identities. Attachment to certain memories can strengthen the ego's identification with specific roles, relationships, or accomplishments, reinforcing the illusion of separateness and limiting spiritual growth. Memories of past experiences, particularly pleasant ones, can create attachments and desires that bind individuals to the cycle of samsara, birth and death. Attachment to pleasurable memories may lead to cravings for similar experiences in the future, perpetuating the cycle of desire and suffering. The great 20th century sage, yogi, and mystic Sri Aurobindo explains, "The past is both a drag and a force for progress. It is all that has created the present and a great part of the force that is creating the future. For the past is not dead, its forms are gone and had to go, otherwise the present would not have come into being, but its soul, its power, its essence lives veiled in the present and ever accumulating, growing, deepening will live on in the future. Every human being holds in and behind him all the past of his own race, of humanity, and of himself. These three things determine his starting point and pursue him through his life's progress. It is in the force of this past, in the strength which its huge conservations give to him, that he confronts the unillumined abysses of the future and plunges forward into the depths of its unrealized infinities. But also it is a drag, partly because man afraid of the unknown clings to the old forms of which he is sure, the old foundations which feel so safe under his feet, the old props round which so many of his attachments and associations cast their tenacious tendrils. In essence, our entire existence in life and body can be described as a bundle of habits shaped by the currents of past evolutionary processes in nature. In the understanding of yoga, memory is directly related to the action of the mind. The mental subconscious serves as the repository for recurring thought patterns. The vital subconscious memory encompasses desires and emotional impulses. The physical memory governs our reactions and the broader spectrum of biophysical processes within our bodies. It's essential to neither overemphasize individual memories, but also not to underestimate the overarching influence of memory itself. In truth, our entire spectrum of experience is intricately intertwined with memory. In their practices, yogis often explore the hidden depths of the mind and consciousness, and often divide mind into various conscious and unconscious processes or parts that are directly related to memory. Antahkarana is a complex concept from Hindu philosophy, particularly in Vedanta and yoga traditions, that refers to the inner instruments or faculties of the mind. These faculties include Ahaṃkāra, ego, Buddhi, intellect, manas, mind, and Chitta, consciousness or memory. All of our life experiences flow through these various parts of the Antahkarana, ultimately forming a cyclical or karmic process. From the area of ego, Ahaṃkāra experience is stored in Chitta, and Buddhi, intellect, guided by Ahaṃkāra, discerns and analyzes incoming information from manas, which in turn draws upon memories stored in Chitta. Ahaṃkāra, ego, is the sense of individual identity, or ego. It's the aspect of the mind that gives us a sense of I or me. It creates a distinction between ourselves and the external world. Buddhi, intellect, is the intellect or discriminative faculty of the mind. It's responsible for reasoning, decision-making, judgment, and discernment. Buddhi helps in understanding and determining what is right or wrong. Manas, mind, is often described as the sensory motor mind. It's the part of the mind that interacts with the external world through the senses and processes sensory information. Manas also draws upon the memories stored in Chitta to interpret sensory inputs and form thoughts and emotions. Chitta is often considered the repository of memories in a subconscious or latent form, while manas is seen as the active aspect of the mind that accesses and processes these memories in daily cognition. Chitta, consciousness or memory, is the storehouse of memories, impressions, and experiences. In yoga, The term chitta is traditionally used to the predominantly subconscious part of the mind and memory where past experiences are stored. Chitta as a reservoir of past experiences that influence present perceptions and behaviors. It stores the impressions created by the experiences and actions of the ego. Ahamkara, Chitta acts as a repository of karmas and samskaras throughout life, carrying their imprints from birth to birth. The accumulation of impressions in the mind prevents the self from perceiving anything in its true light, even itself. Thus, to overcome this ignorance, it is necessary to purify the chitta by neutralizing karmic actions. Yoga emphasizes the cultivation of conscious control over the mind and nurturing its peace by curbing the uncontrolled movements of the emotional, subconscious, and reflective memory. In the practice of meditation, one of the main goals is to calm the fluctuations of the mind, which includes calming the Chitta-vrittis, or the modifications of the chitta. Chitta-vritti refers to the various waves or modifications of consciousness that arise from the impressions stored in chitta. These modifications include thoughts, emotions, memories, desires, and reactions. When the mind is constantly agitated by these fluctuations, it becomes difficult to attain a state of inner peace and clarity. Yogis practice various meditation techniques to still these fluctuations and attain a state of mental silence or tranquility. By focusing attention on a single point, such as the breath, a mantra, or an object, practitioners gradually learn to quiet the mind and reduce the influence of Chitta-vrittis. Our emotions are the waves of reaction and response which rise up from the basic consciousness, Chitta-vritti. Their action, too, is largely regulated by habit and an emotive memory. They are not imperative, not laws of necessity. There is no really binding law of our emotional being to which we must submit without remedy. We are not obliged to give responses of grief to certain impacts upon the mind, responses of anger to others, to yet others responses of hatred or dislike, to others responses of liking or love. All these things are only habits of our affective mentality. They can be changed by the conscious will of the spirit. They can be inhibited. We may even rise entirely above all subjection to grief, anger, hatred, the duality of liking and disliking. We are subject to these things only so long as we persist in subjection to the mechanical action of the chitta in the emotive mentality. A thing difficult to get rid of because of the power of past habit, and especially the importunate insistence of the vital part of mentality, the nervous life mind or psychic prana. In the Yoga Sutras, which are foundational texts of classical yoga philosophy attributed to the sage Patanjali, the concept of memory, or Smriti, Smritayah, is addressed as part of the broader understanding of the mind and consciousness. Patanjali categorizes Smriti as one of the 5 vrittis, along with pramana, correct knowledge, viparya, misconception, vikalpa, imagination, and nidra, sleep. These vrittis are fluctuations of the mind that disturb its natural state of tranquility and clarity. They are seen as obstacles to achieving the state of yoga, which is described as the cessation of these fluctuations. Memory, in this context, encompasses the recollection of past experiences, knowledge, and impressions stored in the mind. Patanjali proposes various methods to overcome vrittis, including memory, smriti. These methods primarily involve the practice of yoga, which encompasses a comprehensive system of mental and spiritual discipline aimed at calming the mind and achieving self-realization. Patanjali emphasizes the importance of consistent practice, abhyasa, and detachment, vairagya, as essential aspects of yoga. By regularly practicing meditation, concentration, and other yogic techniques, individuals can gradually quiet the fluctuations of the mind, including memory. Patanjali recommends the practice of pranayama, or breath control, as a means to regulate the breath and calm the mind. By focusing on the breath, practitioners can redirect their attention away from mental fluctuations, including memories, and cultivate a state of inner stillness. Pratyahara involves withdrawing the senses from external stimuli and turning one's awareness inward. By disengaging from sensory distractions, individuals can diminish the influence of external stimuli on the mind, including memories triggered by sensory experiences. Meditation, dhyana, is a central practice in yoga for transcending vrittis, including memory. By cultivating sustained focus and awareness, practitioners can gradually quiet the mind and attain a state of inner peace and clarity. Absorption, samadhi, is the ultimate goal of yoga, representing a state of profound absorption and union with the object of meditation. In samadhi, the fluctuations of the mind, including memory, are completely transcended, leading to a state of pure awareness and bliss. Patanjali's Sutras 4.10, 4.11, and 4.12 provide a profound perspective on the nature of time and its relationship to human experience. Patanjali here emphasizes the idea that our present experiences are shaped by the impressions, samskaras, left by past actions. These impressions influence our thoughts, behaviors, and perceptions in the present moment. Every action we undertake leaves behind impressions in our memory. While some impressions may lie dormant beyond conscious awareness, others may be active and influence our thoughts and behaviors in the present moment. The latent impressions, though inactive in the present, hold potential for future manifestation when circumstances permit. The present moment thus serves as the locus where past impressions and future possibilities converge, awaiting the conditions for their realization. In recognizing the influence of past impressions on our present experiences, we gain agency over our own evolution. Through conscious effort and practice, and engaging in the removal of problematic samskaras and the cultivation of positive ones, we can create new patterns of thought and behavior that transcend our conditioning. Memory, in its most commonly understood form, is the repository of our past knowledge and experiences, shaping our understanding of the world. Yet, it is often these very memories that become stumbling blocks on our journey towards growth and transformation. Often the accumulation of knowledge expands our vocabulary or encyclopedic literacy, but limits us to the framework of our own thinking. However, sages, those who have transcended the limitations of gross thinking, speak of realms of higher intelligence, where the divisions between past, present, and future dissolve. Sri Aurobindo notes, "The supramental memory is different from the mental, not a storing up of past knowledge and experience, but an abiding presence of knowledge that can be brought forward or, more characteristically, offers itself when it is needed. It is not dependent on attention or on conscious reception, for the things of the past not known, actually or not observed, can be called up from latency by an action which is yet essentially a remembrance. Especially on a certain level, all knowledge presents itself as a remembering, because all is latent or inherent in the self of Supermind. The future, like the past, presents itself to knowledge in the Supermind as a memory of the pre-known. The past is indeed a huge force of conservation, but of conservation that is not immobile, but on the contrary, offers itself as material for change and new realization. The present is the constant change and new actual realization which the past desires and compels, and that the future is that force of new realization not yet actual, towards which the past was moving and for the sake of which it lived. then we perceive that there is no real opposition between these three. We see that they are parts of a single movement, a sort of trinity of Vishnu, Brahma, Maheshwara, fulfilling by an inseparable action the one deity. Such concepts of universal or cosmic memory are popular among various mystics, and in some spiritual and esoteric traditions they are called the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records are believed to be a compendium of all human events, thoughts, words, emotions, and intentions that have ever occurred in the past, present, or future. In this sense, the Akashic Records are often thought to be a repository of universal knowledge and wisdom, accessible to those who have the ability to tap into higher states of consciousness or spiritual awareness. The concept of the Akashic Records gained wider recognition and popularity through the Theosophical Society, a spiritual organization founded in the late 19th century by Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, Henry Steele Olcott, and others. Helena Blavatsky's described the Akashic Records as a source of esoteric knowledge and spiritual wisdom that could be accessed by individuals through various means, including meditation, clairvoyance, and spiritual intuition. In the realm of the Akashic Records, intuition is seen as a faculty or mode of perception that transcends ordinary reasoning and thinking, allowing individuals to access higher levels of awareness and insight. Within the context of the Akashic Records, intuition is believed to be a direct means of accessing the cosmic or universal consciousness that is said to be recorded within this ethereal realm. Rather than relying solely on analytical or logical reasoning, intuition enables individuals to tap into deeper layers of wisdom and understanding that go beyond the limitations of the intellect. Some proponents of the Akashic Records suggest that intuition serves as a bridge between the individual consciousness and the universal consciousness stored within the Akashic Records. Through intuition, individuals may receive insights, guidance, and revelations about their lives, purpose, and spiritual journey, drawing upon the vast reservoir of knowledge contained within the Akashic Records. Sri Aurobindo notes in The Synthesis of Yoga, "All thought in the Supermind is in the nature of intuition, inspiration, or revelation, and all deficiency of knowledge is to be supplied by a farther action of these powers. Error is prevented by the action of a spontaneous and luminous discrimination. The movement is always from knowledge to knowledge. It is not rational in our sense, but supra-rational. It does sovereignly what is sought to be done stumblingly and imperfectly by the mental reason." The mother or Mirra Alfassa, a companion of the Sri Aurobindo. Outside the mental memory, which is something defective, there are states of consciousness. Each state of consciousness in which one happened to be registers the phenomena of that moment, whatever they may be. If your consciousness remain limpid, wide, and strong, you can at any moment whatsoever, by concentrating, call into the active consciousness what you did, thought, saw, observed at any time before. All this you can remember by bringing up in yourself the same state of consciousness, and that is never forgotten. You could live 1,000 years, and you would remember it. Consequently, if you don't want to forget, it must be your consciousness which remembers and not your mental memory. Your mental memory will perforce be wiped out, get blurred, and new things will take the place of the old ones. But things of which you are conscious, you do not forget. You have only to bring up the same state of consciousness again. And thus one can remember circumstances one has lived thousands of years ago, if one knows how to bring up the same state of consciousness. It is in this way that one can remember one's past lives. Memory is a powerful tool that can both illuminate and obscure our path in life. The charm of memories should not seduce us into stagnation, but guide us towards wisdom and growth. And not in the past, but right now, In every moment of the present, a real transformation of our existence is unfolding. The entirety of the past and future is contained within the present moment. Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Buddha,